Several major developments are shaping headlines today across the United States, the Middle East, and global politics as immigration enforcement, elections, and humanitarian access dominate the news cycle. Texas election upset signals political shift. In a major political surprise, Democrats scored a significant upset in Texas, flipping a long-held Republican state Senate seat in a special election. The district had been comfortably won by Republicans in recent national races, including by Donald Trump. Party leaders say the result signals voter frustration and shifting political dynamics ahead of the 2026 midterm elections, while Republicans are calling the outcome a warning sign. Father and son, released from immigration detention. In a key legal ruling, a federal judge ordered the release of a 5-year-old boy and his father from an immigration detention center in Texas. The family, originally detained during a federal enforcement operation, has since been returned to Minnesota. The judge sharply criticized the government's handling of the case, saying the detention was excessive and raised serious humanitarian concerns. Nationwide protests over immigration enforcement. Across the United States, large-scale protests and coordinated work stoppages have erupted in response to aggressive federal immigration operations. Demonstrators in cities including Minneapolis, Portland, New York, and Los Angeles are calling for reduced ICE activity and greater accountability following fatal encounters involving federal agents. The protests reflect growing bipartisan concern over enforcement tactics and due process. In Portland, Oregon, city officials have gone further, with the mayor publicly demanding that federal immigration agents leave the city, citing the use of crowd control measures against protesters and families gathered near detention facilities. Gaza crossing reopens in limited capacity. Internationally, the Rafah crossing between Gaza and Egypt has partially reopened under a pilot program, allowing limited movement for patients and select travelers. Aid groups say many people remain stranded due to strict criteria and limited daily approvals, warning that humanitarian needs in Gaza remain severe despite the reopening. U.S.-Iran tensions and diplomacy. President Donald Trump confirmed that the United States is in direct communication with Iran, even as U.S. military assets remain positioned in the Middle East. The administration says talks are aimed at preventing escalation, following the European Union's recent decision to label Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps a terrorist organization, a move that has further strained relations. From nationwide protests and court rulings in the U.S., to unexpected political shifts in Texas and humanitarian developments in Gaza, today's headlines reflect mounting pressure on governments to balance security, civil liberties, and humanitarian responsibility with major implications as events continue to unfold.